flock of police cruisers that had appeared all too suddenly. Hit the reverse drive when they were all on my tail. Angelina worked the armament and defenses as they zipped by and managed to get 3 of them. Even on the most peaceful planet, I go not unarmed into the sky. Our peaceful hover float was a lot more deadly than it looked. But this chase was beginning to turn nasty. We were vastly outnumbered and outgunned.
"And running out of ammo,"
Angelina said, echoing my own thoughts. "Change of venue," I shouted, dropping towards the green forest below. "Grab the survival kit and get ready for a bumpy landing." I screeched low over a rock-tipped ridge, dived into the valley beyond, and braked to a hover under the trees below. Angelina had the door open as we juddered to a stop, the kit thrown out, and was diving right out behind it when I hit the 2-second delay button. I was cutting it a little too close. The door frame hit my boot heel as I went out. I changed the dive into a roll, hit the ground hard on my shoulders, and thudded to a stop, all of the air knocked out of me.
"My hero,"
my dear wife said, patting my cheek and kissing my forehead.
"Now let's move it."
We did. Grabbing up the kit, she gracefully, and I, haltingly, dived into the protection of the shrubbery. Meanwhile, above the trees, the battle roared as our faithful hover float defended itself with all the robotic skill at its command. Alas, the fracas ended suddenly with a tremendous explosion.
"End of champagne and caviar,"
Angelina said, her voice so cold I felt my body temperature drop. "I'll not contribute to the policeman's ball this year," I grimaced. She laughed warmly and squeezed my hand, and the old, cold, deadly Angelina slipped away. "Let's make tracks," I said, before they discovered that they were fighting the robot pilot.
"Let us not," she said. "This is a nice big tree that we are under. It will shield us from visual observation, perhaps infrared imaging as well. If they suspect that we are not in the hover float, they could backtrack and look for us."
"Your logic is impeccable," I said, rooting through the survival kit. Guns, grenades, all the necessities of life. And to carry that logic a bit further, why were the police trying to shoot us up?
"I haven't the foggiest. As far as the authorities know, we are simple tourists who dabble in the market, sometimes losing,
Most times winning.
"What do you have there?"
she asked as I pulled a silver form out from behind a belt of ammunition. "Jolly Barman instant cocktails. I bought a couple of these on sale." I pulled the tab and 2 plastic beakers dropped into my hand. There was a hissing sound and the can turned cold in my hand, moisture condensed on it. I handed Angelina a beaker, poured it full of sparkling liquid. The gray scraps in the bottoms of the mugs were instantly reconstituted by the liquid to pieces of fruit. I poured another drink for myself, and we sipped appreciatively. "Not too bad." I smacked my lips and cudgeled my brain. "Those police were out to blast us, not arrest us. Are we missing something?"
"Obviously. I think that we should get out of the forest now and see what we can find out about this mystery attack."
"Well, we can't exactly call the police and ask them why they were gunning for us, can we?"
"We can't. Therefore, I will think of something more subtle. Call our son James and have him do a computer search of our problem. After all, he is in the computer business here and should know how to get information."
"An excellent idea. We can also have him come pick us up, since it is a long walk home." We finished the drinks, and I shouldered the survival kit. There was no sound of aircraft now, just some distant bird calls and the hum of insects. We moved through the trees, staying under cover, distancing ourselves from the action with the police fleet. We listened closely, but there was no sound of any engines behind or above us. I smiled. Then I frowned when I heard the grumble of a motor up ahead. "Perhaps that is a sturdy forester practicing his wheeled-wise trade?" I said hopefully.
"Would that it were. Because whatever is out there is coming closer. If they are looking for us, then I am forced to believe that all of this activity and attention is far too murderous for a simple traffic bust."
"Unhappily, I agree. They have made no attempt to communicate with us, just came in blasting." I looked on gloomily as she opened the survival kit and took out an immense handgun.
"But let us not make it easy for them."
We didn't. The armored police cruiser had its tracks blow off as it appeared. It kept firing at us, even though it couldn't move. We dived in close, so close it could not depress its guns to get at us. I jumped to the top of the tread, flipped open the top hatch, and dropped a couple of sleep capsules. Then I looked carefully inside. "Highly interesting." I rejoined Angelina on the ground. Nobody home. Which means, like the cruisers that chased us, this thing is also robot-operated and remotely controlled.
"By whom?"
"By our new enemies, whoever they are." Distant engines sounded from behind the trees, and we slipped away in the opposite direction.